It's alive and it's kicking puppies. Hey guys, it's M16 and I have the Tankenstein, or on the forums it's called the Frankentank. I actually prefer Frankentank. It's more fun to say. But whatever, nonetheless, this is the Tankenstein, the 2015 Halloween tank for World of Tanks Blitz. And it is a World of Tanks Blitz exclusive. It's fitting that the first match that I have recorded is on the Halloween version of Rockfield. And I'm in the Tankenstein, so let's go mess stuff up. And it's tier 7 game. You always want to take the high ground in Rockfield, so that's what I tell everyone to go do. And yeah, I'm trying to get the volume right for myself when I'm playing. I didn't have the volume or the game volume on because I'm sick, so I'm coughing and sniffing all the time, and I don't want you guys to have to listen to that. And immediately, like 10 seconds into the game, I look around, see all these tanks, and yeah, they're all gawking at my Frankentank. But it's badass. I mean, it's shooting flames out of its butt like it just ate Taco Bell. Sorry, that was a bad joke. Anywho, yeah, I'm just going, trying to get to the usual spot, and I get spotted, which is scary because I can't see anything. So I turn my turret, trying to avoid getting hit, and then that T-29 put a good shot into the T-43, get him to back up some, and then T-29 got hit by something big. The only thing that could have hit him that hard would be a KV-1S or a Jagdpanther. In a little bit you'll see that it was the Jagdpanther. Spotted again, and I totally donk out, and that shot misses, but I totally forgot that there were big guns down there. So I got hit once by him, and then again. So already haven't had a good match, and just trying to find a shot at this KV-13, but he's not giving me one. And Jagdpanther still trying to shoot me. Try and get a shot on him, but it didn't aim quick enough. KV-13 rolls out, aiming, and I pump one into him. Damage his turret ring, which is nice. Doesn't do much for me, though, because it's not like he's trying to circle me. But, yeah, waiting for that Cromwell to flush him out. And then he does, so I pump another shot into him. There's my first kill. Jagdpanther, now he's going to be an issue, but I have a damaged ammo rack still. So I have to wait for that to be fixed. And I just now realize that it's up, so I fix it. And then I'm going down, going after that T1 heavy that I missed the first time, and someone puts a shot into him right before I kill him. So it's about half my average damage roll kill. And yeah, shots like that are just the reason why I had low damage this game. But it's Tankenstein, and it's on Halloween map, so it's fitting, right? That KV-1S doesn't have the 122, so he's not a huge threat, but I do want to kill him because he can pen the side of my turret. There's my third kill. Rolling out. KV-1S, he's got the gun that I do have to worry about, so I'm going to end him right there. Now I'm going to go hunt this Jagdpanther, but the T-29, who's on the hills above me still, is working him over pretty good. And by the time I get to the Jagdpanther, the T-29's already put another shot into him. So I get another really low damage kill. But I do get a rallies, so can't really complain. And 3, 2, 1, executed. Okay. That was the slowest drive-by ever recorded by mankind. The Tankenstein is not the most agile tank in the game. The Tankenstein actually has two guns, and it's the only premium tank ever that I know of on any wargaming platform that has a choice of guns. So the Tankenstein is special in that way. The 105 gun that I used in the Rockfield map is the same gun that is on the T29 with 0.12 less rounds per minute and I think 0.2 second faster aiming time. The second gun, however, is the 130mm gun from the Su-100Y, the Tier 6 Russian tank destroyer. And yeah, the 130 obviously does a lot more damage. The 130 is weird though because its premium ammo is just another version of AP. It gets more alpha damage but less penetration. And the Tankenstein does not get premium matchmaking, so you will see Tier 9 games. So if you're caught in a Tier 9 game with the 130mm gun from the Su-100Y, you're going to have about 190 penetration max. And again, the Tankenstein is not the most agile tank at all in the game. Someone compared it to driving around a T-28 prototype, so that'll give you a good indicator of how slow this tank actually is. I think it's got like the same horsepower as the stock engine on a Tiger P. And there I was just testing out the gun depression. The gun depression looks to be a degree or two better, or maybe even 3 degrees better, with the 105 gun instead of the 130, which is another reason to use the 105 gun over the 130. A huge reason to use it is the fact that the gun mantlet that you get with the 105 gun is the same gun mantlet that you get on the T29. And the gun mantlet on the T29 is godlike. So yeah, the KB1 is just straight through my turret. Didn't even try. Didn't even have to aim very well because he's got 175 millimeters of penetration and I've got a 150 millimeter turret. So yeah, the 105 is the superior gun for this tank by far, at least in my opinion. I haven't actually gotten into a Tier 9 game yet. It's probably why I've got a 100% win rate in this tank. But I've also only played like 5 games. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. Right now, I'm just trying to get back to reset the cap because it's at 65% and the Crusader hasn't reset it yet. But I'm still super nervous about that KV-1S. Like, as I go forward, I see him start to try and be sneaky. And the Crusader gets in the cap, which buys me some time. I was really hoping that he was going to reset it, but he never hurt that T-43 at all. So I can't go forward right now because I saw the KV-2 there, and he has a derp gun. If he caught my side, I just would have been ended. But I see him start to roll forward on the other side of the building. So I figured, screw it, now or never, and I made it over here scot-free. And now I have to reset this T-43, and boom. Big alpha damage, that's the pro of using the 130, but there's just too many cons that the 130 just is not a viable tank or tank gun to use because it's got 3 rounds a minute instead of almost 5. It's got less penetration, really bad gold ammo penetration, which makes this tank completely useless in Tier 9 games. It won't even penetrate like a T-54 frontally at all. It might penetrate an E-50's lower plate, but not if it's even slightly angled. The 130 has a horrible gun mantlet, and the 130 also appears to have the less gun depression. It is almost like the gun depression is tied to the gun, not like the tank or the turret itself. So, I mean, we'll have to see. I don't really know. We'll have to figure out when someone posts the soft stats of the tank or whatever. But right now, just on looking at it from the side for a couple seconds, it looks like the gun depression was better on the 105 gun instead of the 130. And yeah, the 105's more accurate, but also, so that's another reason. So the 105's got better gun depression, gives the tank better armor, it's got better penetration, a better rate of fire, better accuracy, better aim time, better gun handling. The only thing that the 130 has over the 105 is alpha damage. So yeah, automatically switch back to the 105. I just wanted to show you guys a game with the 130 because, I mean, you gotta show both. Give it a fair shot. But that's probably the only game I'm going to be playing with the 130 instead of the 105, because if I get caught in a Tier 9 game with the 130 and it's not just a bunch of M46 Pattons or like Centurion 701s who do not go hull down, I'm going to have trouble penetrating anything. So 105 gun it is. This round, I do more damage, yay, but I end up dying because a couple of my teammates didn't listen and, yeah. Don't go town on Port Bay. You're just leaving the rest of your team out to dry, and it's just a dick move because, like, the town is just so tactically useless on this map, and yet people still always go there. Like, oh, heavy tank, I gotta go to the town. No, don't. Just go to the hills. Brawl in the hills. Peekaboom around the cliffs. The mountains over here. Do not go town. Like, I end up dying because that Black Prince and that T1 Heavy don't, like, they just go town, and they're just completely useless for the first 3 minutes of this game. Like, they run into one tank, and then the Black Prince loses, like, 500 HP or something like that. Like, it's ridiculous. And T-34, boom, set him on fire. The 3485 bounced off of me, so I angle against the 3485, but this time I guess he switched to APCR, or he found my weak spot and penetrated me, and then I get hit by a comet, and then I get hit by something really big. I check the team list, and it has to be the 122-44, because the 122-44 is the only tank that can mount a gun that big to do that amount of damage, and yep, there he is. I'm seeing this Flat Panzer come over, and nope, he backs up, but I still get a good damage roll into him. Then I get a snapshot, and then the T-34 is dead. This Flat Panzer is still trying to be sneaky, but yep, push another shot into him. Another pretty good damage roll. It was 13 over the alpha, or average damage. And I load adrenaline because I don't want him to shoot me again, because I do have to deal with that 122-44. Here, I don't know if I want to go up there, around, do whatever, because I know that there's a tank in the very top right that I'm like, figured, yeah, you can help him out. He'll be fine. And yeah, I was wrong. You guys will see that later. But 122-44, put a shot into him. He bounces. I've run out of adrenaline, so my reload's slow now. Put another shot into him. I get stuck in the rock because I angled wrong. And then he penetrated me. And boom, there we go. Here, thinking about turning around, dealing with the mediums. And then I see on the mini-map, there's a KV-1S, and no, he's a huge threat to me, so I'm going to go deal with him. I was kind of waiting for him to pop out, but he never did, which is bad, because I stopped waiting for him to come around, but he never did. Then it's too late for me to turn around and angle against the T-34-85. And, yep, I died. And guess where the two useless teammates are? The T1 Heavy flanked all the way around. The Black Prince is still coming up through the hills, where he should have gone at the very beginning of the match. And this Panzer 34 with adrenaline on, I guess, can't figure out how to shoot and drive at the same time. And then it's down to the two morons that went town on Port Bay. And yeah, it's not pretty. The KV-1S could have wrecked that Black Prince, but he decided to drive in front of him, and so he couldn't get a good shot. So Black Prince kills the KV-1S, and then now it's just down to the T-34-85 that killed me. And yep, they are actually chasing a T-34-85 in a Black Prince and a T1 Heavy with what I can only assume is not the top engine. Yeah, they were chasing him for the next 2 minutes, and the only reason they caught up to him is because the 3485 messed up and got stuck on those crates or cargo, whatever. The only reason we ended up winning is because that 3485 messed up and drove into crates and got stuck. It's still a win. A win's a win, but that should not have been a win. It should have been a draw at best. And if they went to the hills like they told me to, it would have been a steamroll, and it wouldn't have been close at all. But can't really complain too much because we did win. Yeah, just check their stats afterwards, and yeah, 47 percenters. If you can't win half your games at least, you should be sticking with the herd. Don't go off in groups of 1 or 2, because doing that is probably why you've got a 48% win rate. If you've got a 60% win rate or better, you're probably good enough that you can handle more than one tank at a time. But if you're not, then you really need to stick with your team, and you can't go off into groups of 1 or 2, and then just, because that just splits the firepower, then it'll just mess up your team like a lot. So yeah, just stick with the herd. Don't go off by yourself or with just one platoon mate. So yeah, it just won't turn out good for you. Anyways, this is M16's World of Tanks Blitz replays. I hope you enjoyed my video, and have a nice day. Life advice for this video is never play leapfrog with a unicorn. It won't turn out well.